You can leverage write-in cost items to give your customer an open-ended selection item where they can add the description to that item, they can choose a quantity, and they can also upload files and photos and videos to that particular cost item. This is particularly helpful if you are to have customers sourcing their own items or working with a designer to source their items. They can give you the information for that item, and then you can go ahead, check with your suppliers, and then give them a price back for their signature. So let's see how this works in JobTread. You'll start within the job budget, and we're going to add a cost item first. So we'll click plus item here, and then we can start entering in the cost item details. So kitchen island light fixture selection. Great. Okay, so that's a new cost item in our budget. It's currently just a standard cost item, and we can go ahead and convert it to a write-in cost item. So we'll click on these three dots here. We'll choose show details. And then down here in the cost item details, you can choose allows customer write-in. So if I toggle this on, then I have the choice of, does the cost depend on the customer's input, or do we already know the cost for that item? In this case, the cost is going to depend on the customer's input. We don't quite know what the customer is going to choose yet. So by leaving that on, the cost, price, those are all going to be determined. If I turn this off, then I can set the cost here. In this case, we're going to leave it on. Great, and then we'll click close, and now you'll notice there's a little icon here that does indicate that this is indeed a customer write-in option. All right, so then what we can do is add a description for this cost item, and the description is going to be the place that the customer can actually contribute to. So here, I might want to add a description that I've already kind of typed up here, so we're going to paste it in. And so I'm telling the customer, please source your own light fixture that's less than 3 feet wide. Once you've found it, enter the details below. So then the customer can go in and enter in the fixture name, the color, and the link or URL to that fixture. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you complete the estimating steps here as well. So we're just going to put a quantity of 1 and unit each for this item. And then, like we said, the cost and price is to be determined at this point. Oh, and cost type, let's make sure that's materials, and then let's go ahead and give it its code. Great. All right, so now we have our first write-in item. We'll save our changes here. Now you can save these write-in items in your cost catalog so you can use them for every job that you have. So we'll go ahead and pull one from our cost catalog, in this case plus item, and we'll put cabinet hardware selection here. So if I choose this from my cost catalog, you'll notice that it's already a write-in item, so the settings are already there. And I'm going to just do one lump sum for that item, and then of course to be determined. We don't know the price quite yet. So if we did pop into the details for this item, you will notice that we have chosen allows the customer write-in and the cost depends on customer input. You might choose to add something like can lights to this as a write-in item, where you already know the cost of each of those can lights. You just need your customer to indicate the quantity for them. In that case, you can toggle this part off and then just put maybe each can light costs $40, and then the customer can go ahead and enter in the quantity that they want for that. But for this item, we're just going to say cost depends on customer input. Close, we're going to save our changes here, and now we'll go ahead and add these to a proposal or a selection document that we're going to send out to the customer. So we'll click plus document, and then let's go ahead and choose our proposal here. Yes, we would like both items on that, so we'll hit create. And now you'll notice that we have these two write-in selection items for my customer to inform. And in this case, I will go ahead and just send it off to the customer because I want them to let me know what items they'd like. So we'll hit send, choose our customer there, and send it off. Now the document is in pending state, meaning the customer can see it and go in there and add their information. So as the customer, what they're going to want to do is to pop in here and start filling out this information. So the fixture name, maybe it's a pendant of some sort, pendant light, and then we'll go in and choose the color bronze, and then we can add the URL, .something.com, great. And then for the hardware selection, we'll do the same. And we're going to just say horizontal pulls, and then we'll choose bronze for those two. Might as well make them match. And then, of course, the web address. So again, here your customer can upload files and photos to this particular document and to each item if they'd like to. And then down at the bottom, the customer has the ability to add their own notes down here and hit submit. This is going to send the document back to you. And now you have the ability to inform the price of those items. Notice that this is still in pending state, meaning that the customer has not signed it or approved it yet, because they can't really approve or sign something that doesn't have a price on it. So now you can go in as the contractor, check what they had submitted to you, talk to your suppliers, get the pricing from them, and then you can add the pricing here. So just go ahead and click on the TBD area. Now I'm going to put in the cost for that item. So what am I incurring as the contractor? How much am I going to pay? So let's say for the kitchen island light fixture, I'm going to pay $9.50. I want to make sure I have that 30% margin on there, and then my price to the customer for that item is $13.57. We'll save that. And then we'll go in and add the cabinet hardware selection price as well. So here I'm going to click TBD, and I'm going to add the cost that I've found for that. So the cabinet hardware, let's say that I'm going to pay my supplier $325 for lump sum of the cabinet hardware. Make sure your 30% margin is on there, and then the price to the customer is $464. That's what's showing up on the document. So we'll hit save and then close that. So now we have the two specific totals in there, so there's no longer TBD on this document. So you can go ahead and send it off to the customer again. And the way that you'll do that is you'll click this little resend button. So it'll resend this document to the client, and now you can edit this message. So please review the final pricing for your selection items. Maybe please review and approve. There we go, we'll hit send. And now the document was sent back to the client. Now one thing you'll notice now on this document, if you scroll down, there is a signature area because the document no longer has any TBDs on it. Instead, it has full pricing, so the customer can actually come in here and approve this document. And now you'll notice that it is approved. If we go back to our budget, you will see that we have the total budgeted cost for those two items in an approved state. If you have any questions about the write-in selection items, please contact your customer success manager or email support@jobtread.com, and we will be happy to help.